kind of gets back to what you were saying about when you got there, the people who make TV shows being the people who invented the tube. A little bit of it is like, this is how we always did it, and you're kind of bringing
what happens in all these companies is we all live in a bubble. And we forget that there's a whole universe of people out there that do not live in our bubble. It's like one of the big mistakes people make when they first go and program a network, is they program for themselves, which is usually West LA or New York City. And that doesn't work. I got shows galore. I was talking before about Sports Night and some of these other shows. I mean, forget it. I mean, they're great. Yeah, we love them. Okay, but you know what? There's a vast part of the country that you also have to program to. And so we live in these bubbles, and trying to look outside of these bubbles, that's what's really important, I believe, if you're going to reach a mass audience, if that's your job. Not everyone on the internet is looking to reach a mass audience. Gail and I are in the business of reaching mass audiences, and the brands that we're building right now, whether it's Wonderwall or the new ones we're developing, what they all will have in common is massive reach.
Right.
Because we like being in the business of massive reach.
Right, understandably. So let's look at the Wonderwall site, if they can go ahead and put it up, and we can keep talking just so people can see it as we kind of get into talking about Wonderwall a little bit. But so part of the goal is you don't want to do the same thing just because it's been done before. And that's obvious here with the Wonderwall site.
It's looking great. Oh, okay.
And I guess this kind of gets into, people will notice in the audience, if you haven't seen the site before, it's actually very horizontal. It goes infinitely horizontal, right? Essentially.
Well, yeah, it is. What we did here was, first thing we did is we were entering a super crowded space in the celebrity arena. And we didn't create this site because we love celebrity. In fact, for Gail and I to get into the world of celebrity actually was a very dangerous thing, because there's a big part of our business that relies on hiring them. Right. And but MSN did not have a celebrity site, and we knew from the analysis we did at Yahoo that there was a huge opportunity to aggregate that content and package it in a very attractive way. And so what was important? Well, we knew that it was very photo-centric. People love celebrity photos. No one wants to read an opus on any of this stuff, so it was like snacks of information. And what we tried to do is create a very simple UI where basically we had a wall of photos. If you go back to the homepage for a sec.
It's just on a...
Right. So if you scroll just over any of the captions, any of the sub-captions, Twit Pig Slapstick, or any of these things, People's Choice, you'll see that there'll be a little, I don't know where that mouse went, but...
it's a loop. It's on a loop.
Oh, it's on a loop?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can literally buy... Oh, okay, it's off.
Sorry.
It allowed us to, in the simplest way, expose users to a whole bunch of content without them feeling in any way overwhelmed. And we made a bet that even though people are used to scrolling vertically, at the end of the day, you didn't really have to scroll horizontally at all on this site. We do the scrolling for you, right, when you click. But once you see how the site operates, it's much more intuitive. Magazines turn that way. The iPhone now turns that way. And you know what? We're going to start seeing with Windows 7 and other operating systems, we're going to see a lot of new ways in terms of how to navigate sites. So the fact that everything had been vertical didn't mean we had to be vertical. Now, were we nervous about it? Yes, I was very nervous about it. We did a lot of testing, and the testing actually surprised me in terms of how positive people reacted to it. But what we weren't afraid to do is take the chance, and I have to give an enormous amount of credit to MSN and Microsoft, because I was convinced when I first saw the designs from our designers that there's absolutely no way they're going to let us put this site on MSN.
Yeah.
And Rob Bennett is actually the Microsoft exec there, and then Scott Moore were both absolutely going to put this site on MSN.
Right. Well, it does some really smart things. I mean, even the loading thing, it looks like the paparazzi when it's loading, the flashing of the pictures.
All of those things are very, very subtle things. I mean, just when you look through a photo gallery, it is lightning fast. I mean, and you can't stop. You have to look through the whole gallery. And, you know, one of the challenges in the digital world for me is how do we replicate the sort of that endorphin rush that people have when they are consuming traditional media. For example, when you get the newspapers in the morning, if anybody is left here that does besides me, okay? I get 5 newspapers every day. Nobody better touch them before me. They get piled up, they're all perfect, it's okay. It's like a whole crazy experience. I wanted the new Stephen King book yesterday. So even though it's 25 pounds, I went and I bought the book because the aesthetics for me of buying the book, of feeling the book, reading it, everything about it is terrific.
Right.
And we, for the most part, have not done anything yet on the internet that in some way touches you that way. And so what we did with Wonderwall is try to make it fun and capture some of those things. We're going to do that in the new sites that we have. I mean, I look at the Kindle now, and I can already envision ultimately where that's going to go. I mean, I want to see the cover of the book.
Right.
And I want to see how the page, and all these other kinds of things.
Yeah.